Hi, I'm Eva Liv with Ecstatic Soul Calling. What's on my mind today is, do you care who you are? Do you have any idea who you are? It just feels like Christianity is so popular because it gives you meaning. It's like, oh my God, these millions and billions of people are going to die if I don't do something. I have to be the hero. I have to be the savior of the world. I have to do something and my life matters. And it's like we're wired to matter. We're wired to have meaning. Why does every freaking blockbuster epic movie have one person who has to save the whole world? And that's the plot of every epic movie. And it's like, I buy that. I get in Lord of the Rings and it's like, it hits me somewhere deep. It's like, it's the hero's journey. I learned about the hero's journey for writing a book. And it's like, this is the formula for writing any book that's going to sell. You have to have someone go through this epic thing. And the worse trouble that they're in, the better. And better still if they're going to save the whole thing. If the whole universe is in trouble and they're going to save it. So why do we do that? Why do we care? I miss something. I miss something from Christianity. I miss the passion. I have a wonderful spiritual community that I love so much, and there's something missing. There's nothing that we're trying to get together. We're just trying to live our lives, and it feels so empty. So it's like I need my life to matter. And I do feel like I'm connected to a calling and a mission inside of me that matters, but I feel so alone in it sometimes. I feel so alone there because I don't see that. There was something that was instilled in me since a child in Christianity to need to do something big to help, to make things better. And it makes such a big mission. It makes such a great story. Even though I think it's a bunch of bullshit now. But in some ways, there's an aspect of that drives deep into the heart. And I think that's why it's so popular, because human beings need to matter. And why do we need to matter? Why is that in there in the first place? My belief system that I have now, that I've taken on for myself, I really believe that if something's in there, it's in there for a reason. If we need to matter, it's really, really important that we experience the desire to matter, the desire to have meaning, the desire that there's more to life than this. Isn't there more to life than the materialistic bullshit that none of us really cares about anymore? Isn't there more to life than just going to work and going home and maybe raising some kids? There's just so much more to life than the humdrum that we've seen. And what I really believe is that it's calling to us from the soul level. There's something deep, deep down in the soul of humanity that's calling for more, that's calling for meaning, that's calling to be who we really are. It's calling for evolution. It's like the life force is welling up in us and saying, evolve, awaken, be who you are. Be who you are, human. Be who you are, human. And so as that's welling up in us, then we hear the message from the Christian pastor down the street, and it touches that chord, and it drums that chord just a little bit, and we're like, whoa, wait, I heard that calling in my soul. There's something jiving here. And so you buy the whole shebang, and then it falls apart. Like, wait a second, all that hell bullshit. Oh my God, no, that is not God. That is not love. And then you throw the whole thing away, and then what do you have left? What I had left was 7 years of darkness. That's what I had left. 7 years of meaningless life, trying to just go to work and be a wife with no meaning, no love, really. I mean, that was a failed marriage. The failed marriage. I would go in my freaking bathroom, and I would, like, every time I took a shower, I'm like, I want to get divorced. Then I'd be like, no, I want to get divorced. No, I want to get divorced. No. It was a meaningless life. Like, go home, clean the house, do the dishes, make the food, take care of the kids, go to bed, go to work. I knew I was made for more. It was already awakened in me from my past history in Christianity. I used to scream out my prayers. I used to scream and cry out my prayers in an extremely charismatic ministry school that I went to with Lou Engle, a prayer and fasting intercessory leader. And we called it to rumble. It was so intense. But it struck that chord in me. I heard that groan deep in my inside to matter, to mean something, to do something really valuable and meaningful with my life. And why was that chord there in the first place? It's there because it was meant to get plucked. It was meant to get strummed. It was meant to be heard. And yeah, it can be interpreted wrong. And my whole thing now that I'm sharing over and over again is how we have these doctrines that are implicit in Christianity and that are in religion. And they foul up our spirituality. They foul up our real spiritual experience, the real drive and calling of our soul, with doctrinal misinterpretations of that. But that all aside, there was a real soul calling that I heard. There was a real thing inside me that was strummed, and I couldn't unstrum it. I couldn't unstring it. I couldn't forget, and that's why I was depressed for 7 years in my marriage after I left Christianity. It was like there's no strumming going on anymore. It's been strummed. It's come up. I know it's there. I can't deny it anymore. But what is left after Christianity? Is there any strumming going to happen anymore? And so I hold that there's something very precious that the church has found, that Christianity has found, and that religion has found. And it's this plucking deep in our heart of who we're meant to be. Even though it plucks it, and even though it then tells us lies about who we are, even though it then tells us that we can't really be who we are, that all the lies. I don't want to go into it right now. I'm sure I'll talk about it 1,000 more times. And you know that if you're watching this, because you've probably already said F you to all those lies. But that chord still wants to be strummed. We still want to matter. And there's a cry for evolution inside the hearts of each and every human, I believe. Each and every human. Maybe it's buried so deep that you never heard it. Maybe your past religion was such bullshit and there was no spiritual thing being plucked. I don't know. Some of you, you may not have heard it in the church. And I know that I was in a dead church for years, but it still got strummed in the camp. or in the youth pastor's house in the middle of a beautiful worship song, it still got plucked just a little bit. Just a little bit. But then in the later time, in that charismatic, oh my gosh, I felt it. And maybe you didn't feel it, but it's there deep down. And maybe you did, and maybe you had to let go of it when you left. There's a chord in you that wants to get played. And until it gets played, you're not going to be satisfied with life. You're not going to be okay in the doldrums. And that's why I know I'm here to call for an awakening. And when it wells up in me, it's that same drive. It's that same life force that's in you. That's why I know it's calling to you just like it's calling to me, because it's the same life force that's going through all of us. It's calling for us to evolve, to be who we're really meant to be. And in a way, I believe it's calling for the culmination of the prayers that I prayed as a Christian, of the prayers that countless people in religion have cried out for. The group that I was with used to pray for revival, and they prayed for a new Jesus movement. And what came to me one night is the church cannot have the revival that they're looking for, because it can't hold it. The doctrines of the church, the belief systems, are preventing the very revival that they're looking for. And I believe that what they're praying for is the same thing that's a drive through many cultures, many peoples of the world. It's a drive to evolve into who we really are. And what came to me as a daughter of the church, a blasphemous, heretical, former daughter, but a daughter nonetheless, is that the new Jesus movement that they've been praying for is that we live in this way like Jesus, in that he knew I and the Father are one. Jesus knew his divinity. And that's the revelation that coming into the world enlightens every person. Fills us up with light. When we can know deep in our core who we really are is all God, is all love, is all life. And this thing that's welling up that wants to be struck, it's like life just wants to live, just wants to live, just wants to live. And are you going to let it live through you? So what I'm really all about, I'm calling, live who you were meant to be. And let that chord get struck in you. Don't make it be about that you have to go and save the world. I'm not all about, I'm the one person that's going to save the whole world. No. But that life force in you is the one life force that's in all the world that wants to renew it, that wants to make it vibrant and full of meaning, full of value. So I say, let's just play. Let's play. Let's play that chord. Let's play that game. Let's play it full out, all the way that it can go. Play out to see what we can uncover of who we really are.